Welcome back, Wolfpack Verlis here, and this is a strategy of Ambipom for David. He is an awesome Patreon contributor, and I'm going to be reviewing his favorite Pokemon. Now, he wanted to include his main Ambipom strategy. I'll talk about my Ambipom strategies, as well as just some other ways of running Ambipom, and maybe you guys will enjoy the video for it. So first off, we're going to look at David's Ambipom, and it's actually double hit, because double hit and return works really interestingly on Ambipom, and we'll get into that shortly. So first off, Ambipom, I've used Ambipom a lot, which makes this strategy a lot easier to do because I have a good amount of experience with Ambipom, and it has done very well in the past, that in 4th and 5th generation, Ambipom was a very strong Pokemon. Feel like it lost a bit of strength in the 6th generation, mostly because 115 speed was insane back in 4th generation, and since dragons were so prevalent, you could have Ambipom do a lot of work with Ice Punch and just kind of coveraging out. But right now, Ambipom is still in a good position, and you can do a lot of things that make it work. So running that 115 base speed is going to give you an outspeed on Pokemon that have 130 base speed, but they don't have a beneficial nature. So let's say this Gengar was modest, you're going to have the outspeed on 130 base, which is pretty nice by just having the Jolly nature, and you still get a decent amount of attack. That Ambipom with Technician is looking to kind of combo down opponents really well and then provide some extra chip damage. That what I really like about Ambipom is it's a super reliable one-for-one Pokemon with a Focus Sash. That you go Fake Out into double hit, Fake Out's going to get the Technician boost, each hit on the double hit is getting a Technician boost, as well as Stab for Fake Out and double hit, and this is generally enough to KO most Pokemon that don't resist it. So unless it's Steel or Rock, you can kind of Fake Out, double hit, and you're going to have a good amount of damage from there, and it's just going to work out. Going to be really fast, your opponent isn't going to have a lot of options, and in most cases, your Focus Sash is still going to be up. So that way, Ambipom can turn to a 2-hit KO, or a little extra setup on top of it. Now also what you can do, is you can kind of start to work that setup in your favor. Go Fake Out, Power Up Punch, then double hit or knock off. Like Fake Out, Power Up Punch into knock off. If your opponent's holding an item, which pretty much every Pokemon does, that's going to be a KO right there. Now your Focus Sash is most likely procced, because you're getting retaliation on that Power Up Punch. And you're not really that durable of a Pokemon, but now you're going to have that 50% boost to your attack, and you're going to be able to follow that up with a lot of damage either on double hit or knockoff. I really like knockoff on Ambipom, that in 5th generation and 6th generation, it got its own little set of buffs because you can Power Up Punch combo, and now you get Move 2 to knockoff really easily. So that's going to make it to where now you can actually coverage out really well against Ghost-type Pokemon, that your main form of Stab is immune by Ghost, so now you just knock them off, hit them super effective, and knock them out. So Ambipom is a good 1+ with this Focus Sash, and you can just kind of really work it out. Now you can also run Ambipom with a Life Orb, and it's still going to be a really good 1+ Pokemon. That Fake Out into Return or Double Hit is going to do a ton of damage, and most likely secure KOs. Life Orb's giving you that extra damage, so it's kind of like you're trading the Focus Sash for slightly less damage, but not having to worry about the Power Punch setup, and you just come in and you beat up your opponent, and cool things happen. Now when we're talking about Return, Return has slightly less damage than the double hit with Technician, but 100% accuracy. So it's, do you want to play the 90% accuracy game with a little bit more damage, or do you want to play the Return game, less damage but the guaranteed accuracy? I personally pick Return just because I've lost a lot of games from double hit missing, and it just sucks when that happens. Also, when you're running it with the Life Orb, you're freeing up that option from the Power Punch, so that lets you have other coverage like Fire Punch or Ice Punch, and Ice Punch is going to be good against dragons, Fire Punch is going to help you against Pokemon like Ferrothorn and Scizor, as well as some other Pokemon that are really strong like that. Now here's the thing, when we're dealing with a stab move like Return that has over 100 base power, there's no reason to Ice Punch or Fire Punch a Pokemon that's going to only hit 2 times effective, because Return is still going to have more damage in the end. So you're only going to be having these moves for 4 times effective, or to kind of try to hit like 4 Steel type Pokemon. Since Return is resisted by Steel, it'd be nice to carry Fire Punch, because now you're actually getting the extra damage out of that, and the super effective hit is counting for more. So just a couple little notes on those. And then also, when we're dealing with Ambipom, it has Fake Out, it's fast, and it can knock out Pokemon. This is doubles right here. That my personal attack on Ambipom is I like going Fake Out, Double Hit, Ice Punch, Thunder Wave on doubles, because Fake Out, well, that lets your other Pokemon set up. They can use Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, or in my case, I used Ambipom for my Drifloon strategy to let me get a free Minimize, essentially. And with this, you know, Fake Out into a double hit, now you're going to be securing a KO on the next turn relatively quickly. That you can disrupt their setup, set up for yourself, and then potentially have some good KO potential on some other Pokemon, and then you can kind of play it out from there. I personally like Thunder Wave, but That was back in 5th generation. If you want to bring it up to standards, knockoff works really well because there's a lot of Cresselia out there, so you can at least do a good amount of damage by removing leftovers and hitting it super effective, which could really work out nice. So you can do that. So the idea is you're trying to shut down and remove a Pokemon and then let your other Pokemon go down. That Ambipom is an offensive support, which is really nice because now your opponent has to worry about Ambipom and your other Pokemon instead of, well, that Pokemon's just throwing out Icy Winds or Reflect or something, so I don't have to worry about it immediately. Ambipom, it's scoring KOs, it's a threat, and it's removing items, while your other Pokemon is setting up and then scoring KOs and bad things are happening. So Ambipom's speed really lets it disrupt really well, and that's why I like it for doubles. The reason why I even consider Thunder Wave, though, is because sometimes you're not going to be able to secure all those KOs. After you fake out into your double hit and your Focus Sash is procced, you might not have enough damage to follow up into a KO if your opponent has really bulky Pokemon and you don't have a super effective hit. So what I like doing is like Parting Shot, you know, just Thunder Wave, you're at least disrupted, you might get paralyzed, you're at least getting slowed down, so I can kind of use it as my last chance to remove the sweeper and just kind of say, haha, I'm still supporting even though I couldn't K you out. And it works out. So Ambipom, still pretty solid. You get that outspeed on the 130 base neutral speed Pokemon, which can work out, and then it's just a very solid Pokemon from there. Okay, I'm actually super disappointed in myself for forgetting about this strategy, because Fakeout Last Resort Ambipom, I've even used. I think I've done videos with Fakeout Last Resort Ambipom on my channel. The amazing thing about Fakeout Last Resort Ambipom is it's 2 steps. You fake out and then Last Resort. Last Resort fails unless each known move has been used, but Fake Out counts as a move, and the other 2 you don't even have to have. Ambipom will literally just know Fake Out and Last Resort. Now the amazing thing about this is Last Resort has an incredible amount of base power and gets Stab. You boost that with a Life Orb. Doesn't even matter how low your attack is, you're going to have a lot of damage, and again, you can go with the Life Orb, or you can go with the Focus Sash, that you're looking at like Fake Out, Last Resort, that's a KO. Last Resort, if it doesn't KO, Focus Sash procs, Last Resort again, KO. And then you get another Last Resort, so I mean, this is an easy 1-for-1 Pokemon with a Focus Sash. Life Orb is going to keep it rolling in a lot of damage, and if, say you Baton Pass into this, you know, you can give it some speed boosts, or you can just go for like an Adamant with speed boosts, maybe a Swords Dance or something, and until you hit a Ghost-type Pokemon, you're going to be able to destroy everything with probably one of the coolest gimmicks ever. Like, this works out in doubles really well, works out in singles, and it's a very fun thing to bring. I'm disappointed. I actually took down the video and remade this part because Fake Out Last Resort is that cool. So, yeah. Now let's get back to the regular video that we saw, or we were watching. Really like David's idea, Power Punch into a little more sweep potential, but then there are some other ways of running Ambipom that give you a bit more coverage and a couple more options. So I hope you got, oh, also, one cool thing about Power Punch, it gets the Technician boost, so it's just a little bit more damage, and that always helps. So if you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a nice day.